N. Mudenda, the President of the Senate, Honorable Amai M. Chinomona, the Chief Justice, Honorable Luke Malava, President of the National Chiefs Council, Honorable Senator Chief Mchana Kumalo, Politburo and Central Committee members who are here, the Chief Secretary to the President and the Cabinet, Dr. Martin Rushwaya, Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Ungwe, Commander Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General P.V. Swanda, service chiefs who are here, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Mayor of the City of Harare, His Worship Councillor J. Mafume, veterans of the liberation struggle, senior government officials, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. Today we gather as a grieving nation here at our sacred national shrine to lay to rest a gallant son of Zimbabwe, a distinguished veteran of the liberation struggle, Comrade Luke Mushore, whose Chimrenga name was Comrade Dick Joringo. He sadly passed on in Centenary, Mashonaland Central Province, on the 13th of June, after a long illness. He was 76 years old. His demise is a huge blow to our country, to his family, and the fraternity of Liberation War veterans. On behalf of the people of Zimbabwe, our Revolutionary Party ZANU-PF, my family, and indeed on my own behalf, I express my deepest heartfelt condolences to the Mushore family for this sorrowful loss. We, however, remain inspired by the distinguished role played by our late departed hero in liberating our country from colonial bondage. The late Comrade Mushore was a dependable cadre and a pillar who diligently aided both the work of our party and government with distinguished honor and sacrifice. He served as ZANU-PF chairman for Mashonaland Central Province and was a servant of the people who was unflinchingly loyal to his motherland, Zimbabwe. The patriotism, consistency, and persistence which our national hero demonstrated during his service to our Revolutionary Mass Party, ZANU-PF, and in other various national capacities, is worthy emulation by generations to come. My dear comrades, friends, and countrymen, women of Zimbabwe, the late Comrade Mushore was born on 5th June 1949 in Mushore village under Chief Madziva. He joined the liberation struggle in 1970 at a defining time when ZANU was reshaping its war strategy. The late Comrade Dick Joringo, political activism started at Bernard Muzeki College in Marondera, where he was expelled as a student in 1966 after protests against racist and discriminatory colonial policies. He briefly worked in Chiweshe alongside other youths, where they were mobilized by the firebrand Chief Chiweshe to carry out revolutionary acts of sabotage on tobacco farms belonging to racist Rhodesian farmers at the time. Subsequent to hot pursuits, surveillance and arrests by the colonial authorities forced the late Comrade Mshore to flee to Mzarabani area. During that period, he joined a unity of early guerrilla fighters led by two national heroes, the late General Solomon Mujuru and the Comrade Vu. He proceeded with other youths to Chifombo in Zambia before undergoing military training at Makagao in Tanzania. After his training, Comrade Dick Joringo was among an early crop of Zanla fighters who fought alongside Frelimo guerrillas to open routes to Zimbabwe. His group was commanded by the late national hero, Comrade Vu and Comrade Badza. These early groups of liberation fighters laid the groundwork and preparatory mobilization for the protracted and all-out war phase of our liberation struggle. This was in response to the challenges encountered during the initial stages in our quest to dislodge the brutal colonial regime. Zaida Lakashinga Moyo is. And our late national hero and the brave cadres of that time were up to the task. His operational zone covered the vast area comprising 3 districts of Centenary, Guruwe, and Mandarin. He was part of the fearless fighters who had their first engagement with the Rhodesian army at Pamasua in December 1972. As section commander, our late national hero led groups into countless battles, including the famous Chawanda battle, which saw a whole section of Rhodesian Grey Scouts being totally defeated. Later, the group, which was commanded by the late Comrade Joringo, captured and transferred to Mozambique Gerald Hawksworth, who was the land development officer at the time, LDO. This was a sensational wartime development which became an instant international headline story. This act projected Zanla as a compassionate and disciplined liberation army whose conduct adhered to the principles of the Geneva Convention. The appendage of the colonial establishment, Gerald Hawksworth, was released unharmed and in good health just before the inaugural 1980 general elections, which ushered in our independence and freedom. My dear comrades and friends, in recognition of his gallant wartime exploits, including successfully opening up the difficult war zones and the farming area of Chesa in Mount Darwin, the late national hero, Comrade Dick Joringo, was promoted to become detachment commander. As one of Zanla's prominent field commanders, the late national hero opened many other new fronts, including that stretching from Mutoko to Mutare. He was on the front line and never went back to the rear, even during the detente period. He rose to become a member of the General Staff, a role he played while still operating on the front line and remained active in his area of deployment until 1980. Following our independence, Comrade Mshore briefly joined the police force before resigning due to family commitments. My dear comrades and friends, as a dedicated and loyal cadre, the late Comrade Mshore remained an active, loyal, reliable, and steadfast member of our ruling Revolutionary Party, ZANU-PF. He rose through the ranks to become a district coordinating committee member before being elected provincial chairman of Mashonaland Central. Thereafter, he became the member of parliament for both Mzarabani South and Mzarabani North. In parliament, he sat on several committees, including that in charge of security cluster. At the height of our historic land reform program, the late Comrade Dick Joringo was part of the National Steering Committee of War Veterans who successfully coordinated operations. Today, we proudly honor him and others of his generation as we continue to increase yields as well as production and productivity across all subsectors of agriculture. We shall treasure and fully utilize of God-given land and natural resources for the good of the people of our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe. Let us therefore never forget that it is through their selfless and consistent sacrifices, as well as dedication by the late Comrade Mshore, including many other departed and living cadres we have, that our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe, is an independent, sovereign, and united country. In their honor, let us always advance our national interests and defend our country from all enemies. We must bear in mind that it is us who have the primary responsibility to develop Zimbabwe brick by brick and stone upon stone. Nyika inovakwa, igotongwa, igonamatirwa nevene vayo. Ilizwe lakiwa libuswe likulekelwe ngabanikazi balo. Hallelujah. My fellow mourners, comrades and friends, the late national hero, Comrade Mshore, Dick Joringo, waiva bango rakasimba rataivimba naro mumusangano wedu weZANU-PF. Vaisava zinyekenyeke kwete. At this development stage of our nation, atidi vanhu vari zinyekenyeke kwete. He was a trusted and dependable cadre. Throughout his life and political journey, he never wavered from the founding ethos and principles of our revolution, always providing honest and principled guidance and leadership. I call upon members of the party throughout provinces to seek the counsel and advice of the pioneering nationalists and veterans of the liberation struggle in the caliber of our departed national hero, Musangano wakabva kure hama dzangu. Une nhoroondo yatakasiyirirwa nevakautanga kuutungamirira. Tinofanirwa kuusiya isu kuti vachatevera vatevere gwara ratinenge takatara isu. Vanhu vakabatana. Nyika yeZimbabwe inyikirwa yechipikirwa. Toda kuti ibudirire. I further challenge all Zimbabweans, particularly our young people and the youth, to take lessons from the good traits of true patriotism. Humility, 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 selflessness, and discipline that were exhibited by our late national hero. We must emulate. As we befittingly lay to rest our veteran of the liberation struggle, a servant of the people, our national hero, Comrade Mshore, today, alongside his colleagues at this national shrine for eternal reverence and memory, I say to him and to the bereaved Mshore family, as we befittingly lay to rest our veteran of the liberation struggle, a servant of the people, National Hero Comrade Mshore today, alongside his colleagues at this national shrine, for eternal reverence and memory, I say to him, go well, son of the soil. Famba zvakanaka mwana wevu. Hamba kahle mtwana wehlabathi. Zorora murugare, gamba ramagamba, gamba redu. Lala ngokutula, qawe lamaqawe. Rest in eternal peace, our dear comrade. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe.